We are going to do a drawing project today. You can see initially I kind of was thinking that we were going to do a turkey, seeing as we're coming up on Thanksgiving and all, but I didn't really like it. So I think we're just going to go with the peacock instead. If you do want to still do a turkey, I can definitely show you how to turn this guy into a turkey, but here's how we're going to start. First of all, you are going to start by drawing an eye. You want the eye to be about the size of a dime. Kind of right there. Middle of your page, about a third of the way up. Now, draw a little circle for the highlight and another one down here at the bottom. And color the whole thing in, except for those two circles. If you want to start by making the highlights a little bit bigger, for some of you that are used to doing that, feel free to do that. Obviously, you can always make them smaller later. Okay, next thing we're going to do is a sideways V for the beak. Okay. Now, the top part is going to curve down. Okay. And now, the middle of the beak is going to start right there, the middle of the V. Curve down, okay, and the bottom part is just going to come up right about to there, okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and draw his head, and we're going to start here. One thing that I did not like, I actually did the peacock first. I like the shape of the peacock as opposed to the turkey. You can see with the turkey, I went up and over and hit a much more rounded shape. And I did not actually like that. I don't like having that much of a forehead, that much of a rounded head. I like coming across a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to turn my paper to work this way too. Okay, so I'm just going to come up and over a little bit more, especially if I think if you were going to be doing a turkey, you would probably want to make this even a little bit more square because they have kind of those blocky heads. They are not the greatest lookers. Okay, now we're going to come down to the back of his head and the neck. We're going to do a little bit of an S curve there. Okay. Then, let me see, for the front part of his head, I'm going to start it not exactly right there, but just a little bit in. Okay, diagonal line in. Okay, and then I'm going to start. You can start right exactly there if you want, but if you ended up coming too far in with his head, feel free to start your line over here. Okay, I'm going to come down and bring it in. Okay, the next thing I am going to do is these details here on the eye. Now I'm going to draw a line from the middle of the eye back that way. Okay, I'm going to draw a line from here, kind of a curved line, to the beak. Okay, then I'm going to connect those over there. Makes that bottom eye marking. Okay, then I'm going to draw kind of an eyebrow shape almost, starting from the beak, just grazing the top of the eyelid there, coming back. Then I'm going to go back to the beak, down, skip over, and then come back, and it gives him that mask. Okay, a little bit of a nostril. Then we're going to go ahead and give him his little crown here. Okay, to do that, we're just going to do some circles right next to each other. And we're going to kind of curve them over. Okay, as many as you like. And maybe do, starting from the middle of that circle to the middle of that, just some scallop shapes here, as if there was another row right behind them there. Now I'm going to bring them down here, 2 lines close together, bring them down to meet. And just little lines in the middle there, just for the row there in the back. Okay, there's his crown. You can see he's already looking like a peacock. The next thing we are going to do is his peacock feathers. And this is just a basic repeated pattern here. I'm going to walk you through how to do it. We're going to start by making an oval. Okay, kind of roughly smaller than his head. I suppose you could use that as a starting point. Then we're going to give an outline around it. And then a circle in the middle and the bottom. Okay, so we started with our oval. We outlined it, circle in the bottom. And we're going to make a little Pac-Man, a little upside down V, and then a circle around. See? Pac-Man. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time slowly and then put it in fast forward. Okay, oval, outline it, circle, upside down V, and then go around. Now you can see I drew my peacock head kind of big and kind of over here to the side, so I didn't have a ton of room. But you can see what I've tried to do is give the illusion that these feathers are going around back behind this peacock's head. Okay, again, I drew one oval, I drew an oval around it, a circle, and then a Pac-Man on the inside. Now, one last thing I'm going to draw here before I start making all of my kind of these feather shapes around it. I'm going to draw just a little bit of a triangle here on top, and I'm going to color that guy in. I'm going to go ahead and do that over all of the circles. Okay, so I didn't really have room to do a whole lot of that over here because my ovals are going off the page, but that's okay. You kind of get the idea. The next thing we're going to do is connect the feathers here the body, so to speak. Oh, guess what? I completely skipped a step. I totally forgot to draw the scallops on his body. Okay, let's do that now. 1, 2, 3, starting right there in the middle of the hump. 1, 2, 3, and try to make them smaller as they go down too. 1, 2. So the opposite is happening here. They're getting bigger. Okay, I'm just going to do that for a minute. Okay. Again, just making scallops. Okay. That's enough. Okay, so now I can connect my feathers. Skipping over the head as if they're going behind. Okay. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do with my Sharpie is creating some of these lines going around the peacock feather. Okay, and all I'm going to do is almost trace around. Okay, just creating lines right around my ovals. Okay. And I'll go ahead and put this back in fast forward. One last thing. I don't know if you saw me add some of these feathery shapes here. If you end up being able to see a lot of your stems, like here's another stem to the feather, I'm just going to add some more lines off of there. Okay, and again. And then I'm just going to add a few more lines going through to the back. Okay, just so I have filled my page with these lines. Okay, and oh, maybe a couple more right back there. Okay, our peacock is ready to color.